Allah ka ƙara wace hikima da hazaƙa da basira wajen gudanar da wannan mulki. Allah ka taimaki wa kuma da sabon sadaka a cikin Allah ka ba shi lahiya da cikinsa. Allah ka taimaki ma arhama sarkin musulmi. Ka ba shi shawarar za ta amfane shi ta amfani musulmi baki ɗaya. Wannan taron da za a yi Allah ka sa a yi shi lafiya ka sanya shi albarka. Allah ka ba mu lahiya zama lahiya da gama lahiya. Allahumma izzal islam wal muslimin wa ajalla shirk mushrikin wa dami a'da'in. Allahumma habbib ilayna al-iman wa zayyinhu fi qulubina وكرر إلينا الكفر والفسوق والإسيان وجعلنا من الراشد برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Ahmad Amin Sokoto, PhD, FCNA. Your Excellency, the former Governor of Sokoto State, distinguished Senator Dr. Alu Tv, Sarkin Yakin Sokoto, Sarkin Yamman Sokoto, Member Muslim World League, Speaker, Sokoto State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tukur Bala Bodinga, the representative of the State Chief Judge, the Secretary to the State Government Muhammad Bello Sifawa, the Sokoto State APC Vice Chairman Alhaji Hassan Ben Dangote, representative of His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, members of the legislature, members of the State Executive Council here with us, representatives of various security agencies, our resource persons, Senator Saidu Dansadong, being represented here by Professor Bello Daudumbada, Professor Khalifa Shehu Dipa of the University of Maiduguri, an expert on counter-terrorism, Professor Tuku Baba, an expert on internal security, and also the spokesperson for the app, as well as Professor Tanku Haya Baba of the Political Science, Usman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto. Other distinguished personalities, our traditional rulers, my colleagues in the film profession, a very good afternoon to you all. Your Excellency, we converge on these premises this afternoon to witness a stakeholder security conference organized by the Movement for Social Justice in collaboration with Sokoto State Government. Your Excellencies, this event is currently being televised on NTA network. It is also being shown on Alu TV, and it's equally being transmitted on several radio stations in Sokoto metropolis. Your Excellency, permit me to start by Your Excellency, to start by inviting the Secretary of the State Government, Muhammad Bello Sifawa, to come forward for a welcome address. The SSG, sir.
Bello Sifawa, mai farar zuciya kuma kyakkyawa. Na Ahmadu gwamna mun gode, aminin baba Alu Barzo, aikin ka yana tafiya daidai. Dattijo Bello Sifawa, mai dattako. Kuma mai iko.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil karim. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor, Sokoto State,
Dr. Ahmad Ali Sokoto, FCNA, our leader, our father, our mentor, Dr. Aliyu Magatakardawa Mako, Sarkin Sokoto, Sarkin Yakin Sokoto, and member Muslim World League, the Speaker at Sokoto State House of Assembly, Alaitukur Balabo Inga, and the Honorable Member, Sokoto State House Assembly, the Chief Judge being represented, the Honorable Grand Kadi, the Chairman of APC being represented by the Deputy Chairman, Alassane Bello Dangote, members of Sokoto State Executive Council, the representative of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, our esteemed resource person, heads of security agencies in the state, members of the press, our esteemed guests, I'm extremely delighted to stand before you on behalf of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, and the good people of Sokoto State, to welcome everybody here for this very, very important event. An event to discuss the security situation as it affects Sokoto State. I wish we have a very fruitful discussions, a meaningful discussions, and knowledge sharing discussion, so that it will change the narration of what we've been doing in the state. A madadin mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto, ina maraba ga bakinmu wayanda suka zo don tattauna wannan muhimmin taro wanda za a yi a nan Sokoto daular Islamiyya, wadda mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto ya karbi bakuncinta kuma ya tabbatar da gudanar da ita. Musamman muna maraba, jigo ne kuma shugaba ne kuma malami ne, profesa ne a kowane fanni. Muna godiya kwarai da gaske. Da na zo nan an sa wata waka na ji ana Bello Sifawa Aminu Alu. Ni ba Aminu Alu ba ne, ni yaron Alu ne, dan Alu ne, kuma kullum ina godiya ga Alu, kuma ina alfahari da shi bisa ga rika ni da rika mu da yayi matsayin yaya, mun kuma muka da kashi uba. Allah ya sani ni ba aminin shi ba, ni yaron shi ne, dan shi ne, kuma mai biyayya gare shi. Kuma I will always remain grateful throughout my life bisa ga irin mentoring namu da yayi. Muna godiya ga Excellency. Allah ya taimake mu, ya ba mu zama lafiya da gamawa lafiya. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Mata
Yeah, it's okay, DJ. That was the Secretary to the State Government, Mohammed Bello Sifawa, with his welcome address. Your Excellency, we are now moving on to start inviting, oh my goodness. Hello, hello. That each and every one of you is given 10 minutes to make his presentations. We hope you will bear with us. We know the academia how they are when it comes to issue of public presentations. At times, oh, Allah Your Excellency, permit me to start by inviting Senator Saidu Muhammad Ansadau, who is unavoidably absent here and has been adequately and well represented by our own Professor Bello Daudumbada of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. Professor Sir. Professor Bada is like wearing two caps at this event. He has his own presentation to make, and also he has been assigned by Senator Ansadau to speak on his behalf. Professor Sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أبو بكر باو said we have been given only 10 minutes or 5 minutes to say what we really would like to say. Well, when you invite university professors, you should give them enough time, but I really understand your fears. Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. Some people said Your Excellency, but I say Your Excellencies. I really do not know where to begin. The Hausaman says, Yaro ba ya zama babba ga gida ga baba ne zaune. But Sarki Yamma said, Maraki kuma ya cika da manyan shanu. So, Yaro na iya zama babba because his father is so happy that he has nurtured a child, the child has become a man, the man is there to protect him. All protocols observed. Your Excellency, the Governor of Sokoto State, Dr. Ahmed Aliu, I'm here on behalf of Senator Saidu Dansadau. He was my classmate from 1975 to 1978 when we were students at Shehu Shagari College of Education. So we were together. We had been together for a very long time, but when he became a senator, I got a scissors. I cut off our relationship because he is a very, very positive person. I highly respect him. I read what he has written. He said, I must express my profound gratitude to the organizers of this security and the executive governor of Sokoto State, Dr. Ahmed Aliu, for considering me worthy of speaking in this subject matter at this very important occasion. You may wonder why I choose the phrase, must sink. This is informed by the fact that Sokoto State government, through Alhaji Bashir Guyawa, Sokoto State Chairman of Runduna Adalchi, is the first to invite me to speak on the security challenges that for so long bedevil not only Sokoto and the Zamfara states, but the entire nation. Insight and the lessons for state actors.
Books can be written in respect of the following words in it. He explained complex scenario and even insights, and the settlement of illegal alien Fulanis from neighboring countries, especially Chad Republic, after the civil war between Gokoni Wadai and Hosni Habari in the 70s into different parts of the north, Sokoto and Zamfara states inclusive. They initially behaved and they related with both indigenous Fulanis and the Hausas harmoniously and peacefully, but later exhibited their true criminal tendencies. By starting small-scale armed robbery, followed by rustling of non-Fulani kettles, later from indigenous Fulanis. When herds of the local Fulanis were grossly depleted, they had no option but to join and the blatant betrayal of trust by unscrupulous security officers, traditional rulers, and the judicial officers. C. The killing of 500 herds of cattle by Plateau indigents during Governor Joshua Darius' tenure led to invitation of armed Fulanis from West African countries for revenge against the people of Plateau State. When the foreign Fulanis found Nigeria to be like a no man's land, they never went back to their countries, but engaged in armed banditry, making remittances to their home countries. D. Starving local government council of funds and the constitutional powers by some state governments is substantially responsible for poverty, unemployment, indolence, and the frustration that leads many youth to drug abuse and involvement in crimes. Abolishment of community cattle tax made it easy and safe to move from one place to another without tracing their home or record of behavior. Proliferation and the widespread of corruption of consumption of dangerous drugs. Nigeria's porous borders largely informed by failure of security agencies to effectively guard and man the borders. Higher poverty level and a higher rate of unemployment. Collapse of home training at family level occasions the ever-growing and uncontrollable moral decadence prevalent in our society. Lack of rehabilitation scheme in Nigeria's prison service. Higher level corruption on part of bad eggs in our security, judicial and law enforcement architecture. Immediate causes. Indiscriminate allocation of virgin forest reserves, game reserves, Fulani grazing areas, home settlement as farmlands to farmers, and the Fulanis engaged in farming by successful Zamfara state government from 29th May 1999 to the 29th day of May 2019, pushed Fulani in the state to the wall. This unfortunate situation brought about fierce competition for farmland between Fulanis and the farmers. Attacks and the counter-attacks, reprisal and the counter-reprisal between Fulani and the farmers on one hand, and the Fulani versus Ensake on the other worsened and escalated the security challenges. Both human and the livestock population expulsion have made competition for land space fierce and a matter of life and death between and among nomadic cattle rearers and the farmers. Injustice, impunity, and the arrogance by some of the in-traditional rulers, in-traditional land dispute management are some of the teething causes of armed banditry. Indiscriminate release of suspects by security agencies is one of the causes of escalation. Deliberate attacks on innocent Fulanis and the political opponents, mostly by unscrupulous members of security agencies and informal security organizations such as NSAKI and the civilian JTF. that fake registration by service providers of their subscribers in Nigeria is the most notorious obstacle to the security agencies for tracking and apprehension of bandits. Committee finding reveals that about 60% of name of subscribers to services of these companies are fake. This phenomenon is predominantly among the lower strata of Nigerians. And these are the courses he gave, and yes, these are the courses he gave, and I think somewhere he gave some of the solutions he sought, and I think a summary of some of the solutions he sought was for government to really find amicable solution in terms of justice, in terms of fairness, in terms of inclusive government. This is the message of Senator Sa'idu Muhammad Dan Sadau. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, DJ. Your Excellencies, you've just listened to keynote address by Senator Sa'idu Muhammad Dan Sadau, who is being represented here by Professor Bello Daudumbada of Usman Food University, Sokoto. Thank you very much, Professor. Now, next speaker, Your Excellency, is Professor Khalifa Dikwa of the University of Maiduguri, an expert on counter-terrorism. Sir. Thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على أفضل المرسلين. I'm very elated that for the first time I am being invited by my grandchildren. For those of us who knew history, Sokoto people are actually our grandchildren. When you check your history beyond 100 years, you will see a mother, a Kanuri woman, or a father there. There's nobody in this north that is not connected to Bor. No. Shena ni kuma bambo e ba domin aka ce mana wala talbisul haqqa bil batil wa taktumul haqqa wa antum ta'lamun. Shi da aka ce mun minti 10, ni kuma minti 10 nan kamar ko giyatu ban sa ba. So, and they are telling me to speak in English. And English kuma is a colonial language like French. Those who use their own mother tongue actually fared better, even in Europe, where Germany used its own German language of colonizers. Basubari mutani suiba, Korea, Japan, Iran, Russia, China, they all use their own languages. But in our own case, they not only wanted to impose English, but also wanted to kill our informants, because they had to create a language in order to subdue the Arabic language, with which they do not want our children, now our great-grandfathers, to read the Quran in Arabic and understand it, because it is the richest language ever. So they suppressed the Gobirawa, they suppressed the Fulani, they wanted to elevate a language. They came up with something called the Hausa, which was an elevation. Academics may differ. Elevation in order to block the language, Gobirawa language, Kanuri language, because of the history they have. Once they have a history in the ancient cities, they will not allow things to go away. And it is easier to do any Russian mutinchi either in English or in Hausa, but you cannot say them easily in Kanuri or Hulful de Kacheda Ubanka. Zanchi Ubanka. It is not easily said in our own languages. They are not possible because of their culture, traditional values. And Masifa Dabuke was accidental. It was there in the Kula. They wanted to implement it in 1966. The soldiers took it over. United to try it in 1983, the soldiers took it over. Now they came back. Remember in 2003, we talked about Bakassi. A particular government leader went to Paris along with the governor of Borno to sign away whatever that happened to Bakassi, let it go International Court of Justice, which could have been political. That is the main thing. So I started warning about the insurgency that is kept for us Nigerians and the Lake Chad region. Since 1984, when I returned from France as a student, I stumbled on the classified document. Malama Tache Makuma, my friend, my good friend, showed me the classified document that if you allow such people to be president, such people to be governors of the extreme north, you are cooked. Angamadaku. So as soon as in Adawa, I started talking about Karubani Yafaru. Unfortunately, I cikin gwamnati masu kai yakata. 1984 shekara 40 da ɗaya ko ban daina ba har na 2003. So a cikin gwamnati an fara bita da kullum. Ashe fitilar Boko Haram da har da su ne ake yi. Akwai shugaban kasar da yake akwai su a cikin gwamnatinsa. Kuma haka take. Jiya din da when I was talking on BBC ra'ayi riga, mun bambanta da system. Su suna son irin na Gen Z, shortcut. Duk ba wanted to give a brief background in ko lura da shi jiya a ra'ayi riga a BBC. Saboda haka gaskiya ba ta bukatan canji, kamar tuwo ne za a canza mar suna. The thing is, mun zo yanzu an zo lokacin da za a rena ta gama da su an zo ƙarshen. Ina dalili idan aka samu gwamna na gari wanda yake jin zafin al'ummarsa, wanda yake yakan talauci, wanda yake ba da abinci a ci. Domin an kawo so an so a daura mana talauci din nan domin mu zama marawata. An kawo cashless waɗanda abu, amma an je ainihin program din da muka ce idan canji namu muka ce zamanin Buhari a cikin wata 6 za mu yi juyi hali inda za mu shigar da abinci, kuma muka ba da reference akan su sahabbai alaihi salatu wassalam lokacin da aka yi fari na watanni 9 aka shigo da abinci da aka ciyar da mutane, muka ce duk inda ake yi kamar gwamna mai girma gwamna ya leka ya gani a cikin program dinmu, inda za a ce misali kwano naira 500 ne a sai da kwano a naira 50 din ma wani bashi da shi a rubuta sunansa a bashi ya je ya ci, domin asali ma kayansu ne ba na wani ba ne, sauran shugabanni gadi suke. Amma an zo lokacin da mutum yanzu shekarunsa sun haura 70, amma har yanzu yana kutun sace biliyon mata da yara kuma suna fulani yaushe ne zai gangare ya tafi domin a raba gado. Shi ne shirmen fa. Ina dalilin da a sai gwamnati ba za ta ba da makamai masu inganci fiye da na yan ta'adda ko daidai iri na yan ta'adda. Ina dalilin da kuka ce a doki yara samari birjin haka a doke su harkar soja da polis da sauransu, suka ce a shekara tuna 10,000. Ina dalili? Duk ashe a nuna maka cewa da gwamnati ne na tare ne ake yi. Ita gaskiya tana da dace, amma kuma mun zarce 60 din nan har body pass ma mun yanka body pass na tafiya, ba mu da matsala. Shi ne magana aya ta farkon da na faɗa. Don duk inda ake addu'a to a hada da sadaka. Dama ita addu'a matsayinta sallah da kanta addu'a ce. To dalilin da Allah yake fiyarin sallah da zakka zaka ji inda yawanci inda zaka samu wa aqimus salata zaka ji wa atu zakata. Inda sallah ta zama addu'a to sadaka tana tare da shi. So addu'a ita kamar sunsu, sadaka ita ce fuka-fukin. Ko malami ne idan aka ce yana da ruwa to addu'ansa akwai gosulo a cikin al'amarinsa, ku sani wannan abu. Madawaci baya farin jini, madawaci ba shi da tausayi, bare shi yana da rauni imani madawaci dai, domin ba shi da tausayi. Kwata so a yi karatu Kur'ani, a fara da karatu, sannan kuma a je boko, kowa wane ne ana iya yi. Saboda haka su Sokoto dai kamar Zamfara da sauransu su kasance abin da shi mai girma Amadu Ali, ni ma sunana Ali ne, ko babanka ne ko yanzu? So ni ma Ali din ne, Khalifa Ali. To shine a yi irin daidai wanda za a ji kamar amana ce kowane lokaci ake bari. By the time an yi inda talakan Sokoto suna da adalci, sun san abubuwan, ba su bukata wasu abubuwa a ƙarshen shekaru 3 ko 4, sai a ce mu bukatanmu wanda zai yi mana aiki, domin hadimi ne, chief hadimi ne, wanda kuma wanda yake kwatanta adalci, wanda ba shi da girman kai. Dama girman kai rawanin siya ce. Waɗannan abubuwa, to I don't see any problem with Sokoto now, because in one way or the other, game da abin da ake cewa USAID tana tallafawa Boko Haram is not something new. I've been talking about it da dadewa ne, ba sabon abu ba ne, kuma mun yi expecting za su yi deny. Su suke tallafa, su suka kirkiri ta'addanci, suka shigar da ko ina a Afirka ɗin inda akwai ma'adinai, su suke yi. Kuma babban mutum ko sata a yi ba a iya a ce ma Amurka barauniya ce. Sata ana jin tsoron sani, but to be politically correct, sata suke yi. Musamman ma kasashen da yanzu, in kun ji tarihin kasashen da Faransa ta yi musu reno, 100% na ma'adinai duk na Faransa ce. Idan suka ji a bamu ko 10% sai su ce sai a yi juwo mulki ko a tayar da husuma ko rebellion, a fitina ta ruru. Independence babu ita. So yanzu kan za sun tsara harara, masu agogo sun fara harara. Ko rabin giyatu ma bai yi ba fa. Ba za ku daga mun kafa ba, to ku gayyace ni wani lokaci daban, zan zo fede muku ragon har wusiya. Rago ne, to an bani an daga mun. To ko ban haide kun ga an daga mun ba, ko tun da ba ma cin biri, to ya zama rago a fede shi har wusiya gaba da. Kuna ji? To ba a san Sokotawa da tsoro ba, sai dai kunya. Kuma ku san tarihin ku, yadda na ce muku kuji kokin namu, to haka Katsinawa suke. Suna son su hana mu sanin tarihi. Da ina kalubalantar Professor Tukur, yana son ya yi barazana ya kwantar na yi shiru, wai kar a yi amfani da title da shehi. Kai ka ji mun fa, a'a, wanda yake jeji kamar kura, ha? Ba sai ka zauna ga cikin birni za ka yi wani wayewa ba, ku kiyaye ni. Na ce mutu, wallahi na yi bincike na kaina, da kuma wanda suka yi jagaba suka same ni, su Hajji Bashar da su Muhammad Bakwai da su sauran mutanen wanda suka yi ruwa da saki, suka yi mun magana, har da sun yi tattaki takanas ta Sokoto ba ta Kano ba, suka je suka same ni. To na ji daɗi da wannan zuwa, kuma insha Allah za a ci da zuwa da wannan abun. In akwai abun da 'yan siyasa ba za su iya su faɗi ba, su gayyace mu za mu faɗi abun da duk duniya ma ta tashi, inda akan gaskiya ne ta tashi. Kasar mu ce, Najeriya ta mu ce, ba za a yi mana a ce Sokoto a kalle ta da wani ido, ko Borno ko Arewa da sauransu. An yi kuskure akan cewa shi ita demokratiya din yawan al'umma ne. Yawan al'umma shine kasuwa, ba abin nan ba ne. Saboda haka an yi mistake, kuma mu hana lokacin 1998 na hana, na ce abun zai reshin nan zai yi da mu, ba zai yi ba su iya ba, kuma ba za su iya ba. ba za su yi muku adalci ba. They will never do it. You cannot expect them to give you what they don't have. Absolutely. Sharing the little is in our culture, in our traditional values. Bring back the power of my unguwa, the world head, dakaci, su ne suka fi kusa da al'umma. So they deliberately blocked it and killed the traditional institutions. Amma kuma, we are the majority in the National Assembly. We do not bother to bring them back and give it back to them. So as long as we do not bring back the thing that they wanted to kill us with, education and insecurity will continue. But naturally, ga Allah ya kawo mana sauyi, sai kuma sai dai gangara yanzu sai su yi hakuri. We keep talking to our yara wanda suke jeje domin ba su san tarihin ba. Let us use stick and carrot. Stick and carrot. Duk wanda ta bari ɗanta ya shiga wani ta'addanci ta manta kawai ta yi sadaka ta manta da shi, ko kuma ya bari ya dawo cikin hayyacinsa ya dawo ya yi. Saboda haka kasa ce, in wani laifi wani ya yi laifi ba laifi ba ne, in mu muka yi laifi laifi ne. Kasar mu ce ba wanda ya fi mu da inci guda ɗaya fiye da kima. Saboda haka mu saya mu rike ibadar mu rike Allah da mu kwatanta adalci, ko ba ma guje ko ba ma menene, adalcin nan ya kasance cikinsa kamar da mutanen mu haka suke yi. Babu abubuwan nan bambanci kaza da kaza, adalci ake bukata. To alhamdulillah, ko gwamna Sokoto yana yi irin na baba ga na zulum din nan, wanda ko ina shi yana nan ga abinci ana yi, ko ana ganin har abu kamar kiyashi ma zai iya biyo ya bujuro. To kiyashi in da tashi karku damu, an ci nasara da ikon Allah insha Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Professor Khalifa Tikwa na Jami'ar Maiduguri. Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, our next speaker is Professor T. Muhammad Baba, a security expert and also the spokesperson of the Ariwa Consultative Forum. Professor, sir.
I will try. Your Excellencies, I'm a sociologist by training and practice. I'm not patient with protocols, so let me stand on all existing protocols, but singling out the governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Ahmad Ali Sokoto, and of course, Senator Adumaga Takada Wamako, former governor of Sokoto State and distinguished senator of the Federal Republic. Recognize other distinguished personalities, spiritual and temporal, let me add you all together. It's my pleasure to have been invited here to speak. Now, when I arrived this morning, I had lots and tons of papers to speak about, but I was told I have only 10 minutes. I thought this is very, very oppressive. I did not sleep much last night, and I want to deliver everything in 10 minutes. I will do that. I would rather try to do that. In fact, the topic assigned to me is very straightforward. To speak about coordination and resource rationalization for the containment of banditry in northwest Nigeria, reflections on some strategies for synergy and cooperation. Your Excellency, there are so many things I'm supposed to speak about: coordination, rationalization, containment, synergy, and so on and so forth. But let me begin by answering Professor Dikwa. As usual, a Kanuri man doesn't understand much. What I told him is that he should go back to Borno and tell them to call the paramount ruler of Borno na Barebari. Su kira shi mai ba shehu ba. Mu ma nan da muka kirkiro shehu mun yi retire in posting. Though it's so important, we can give it to only the authentic shehu. So the paramount ruler of Borno should be called Mai, not shehu. It's not your term, it's ours. My message is simple. So we know what the problem is, Your Excellency: banditry and insecurity. Banditry has always been a part and parcel of our society. Even pre-colonially, rulers have had to contend with that. But the problem is it has been contained in the past. Important as religion that is peaceful, straightforward, is becoming very, very difficult to practice, let alone travel, commerce, and all social relationships. So it is now a major social problem and affects everything that we do. Therefore, it must be fought, and fought decisively, so that if it is not exterminated, it is at least contained within a reasonable limit. How can we do that? By leveraging on the resources available to us. What are these resources, Your Excellency? Material and non-material resources: land, sea, soil, water, lakes, wells, minerals, forests, animals, human beings, everything on the ground, below the ground, or above the ground. They are all resources we can use for solving human problems. Like I said, human problems include everything that distorts our ideas and so on. Anything that can be used to help us meet particular objectives or our need is a resource. So, and to fight banditry, we need all this. Now, what are these resources for us for fighting banditry? Of course, obviously and foremost, constitutionally, the federal, state, and local governments. These are the formal resources available. But we also have other semi-official, I will say, because they have one foot in and one foot out. Since the establishment of colonialism, that is the traditional authority. So people call it traditional rulers and so on. I prefer to call them traditional authorities, because the people, of course, there are other non-traditional institutions. The religious clergy, their voice are very important because they are well known in the community. And other professionals, such as merchants, market officials, and so on, they are all resources. Of course, the media in today's terms, media in the general sense of the word, print, TV, radio, and of course social media of today, they are all important. They are all levels of journalists that are responsible as purveyors of information, and information is key. What are other resources? Knowledge, skills, knowledge not just of modern knowledge, but knowledge that enables the human being to overcome the environment, to overcome obstacles, to know what to do, to apply, to make life as easy, efficient, as effective as possible. Of course, our history and our culture, religion, they are all part of the resources that can be. We also have others, mechanics, market officials, and so on. They are all part of the resources we can use to overcome banditry. Why? Because they have practical knowledge and experience. Every traditional ruler at the different levels know every inch of the soil, They know every stranger, everyone that comes into the community and out. Every birth, every death eventually registers with the traditional rulers. It's unfortunate, like I say, since colonialism, they have been kept, as someone said, like spare tires. But to the people, they are essential. They are not spare tires. They are the 4 tires or the 2 that can drive vehicles. Every time we have tried to get rid of them, it has not been possible. Why? Because they are organic, they are rooted in society, and you cannot remove them. So they are possible. There are also resources that should and must be recognized. Now, I've been told, how can this be done? It's a long process, and it's not easy. The first requirement is political will, that the government of Sokoto State will think of organizing this event, bringing everybody is one, and it's a very critical step in overcoming banditry. We have to accept it politically, otherwise we will get nowhere. It is a political problem, much as it's security, and we cannot solve it without the input and the leadership of political authority. Traditional, modern, formal or informal, like I've said. And of course, what are the resources? I have said what these resources are. They are both the material, the tangible and non-tangible. They are the non-material, which I have listed. The most important of which are the human resources, because without human beings, under a leadership, marshalling all will not be possible. To end my presentation, 10 minutes is very oppressive. Let me give you an example. We have used all this. I have lived in Sokoto for a long time, called Mutumbiu. At one point, when people sell goods in the market, in the night, armed robbers will come and demand that this Igbo man from Oweri bought this from you and paid you 2 million. Where is it? And then, on Monday morning, after Friday, on your way to Jalingo, they will waylay you and say that you are taking money to the bank. You either give us or we kill you. So the first thing, when I was contacted, the first thing we did was to convince a modern bank, I will not mention their name because I will be advertising them, to establish a branch. They did. And then they usually on Friday, they will not close until 10 o'clock. Armed robbery, 90% disappeared because people didn't have the money. We went further. We organized what we thought was a security forum. Under the leadership of Sarki Mutumbiu, we organized a weekly meeting. This weekly meeting involved local government officials, especially the local government chairman. We involved the police and the civil defense. We also, because it's a local government headquarters, we involved the DSS. We also called for representatives of the motor park, drivers, mechanics, spare parts dealers. Also, we also included cellular phone repairers and sellers, grain merchants from their markets, and so on, health officials working for governments or running pharmacies or private drug stores. And we got them into a weekly meeting. Everybody who had information to bring will bring it to the meeting. It is discussed, and a secretary will summarize everything for the secretary. And we made available this information to the military, to civil defense, to the police. We now told the police, divisional police officer, if the commissioner of police calls you, you have a weekly report. The civil defense, you are also on ground. DSS, if they want information and so on. Motor parks, we convince people that everybody who comes to town wanting your service, you must get to know them. People who come to buy drugs, you get to know them. And secretly, you supply the Meangwa, who will supply the Dagate or Hakimai, which will eventually get to Serki and to the security agencies. And this way, we don't know where the information is from. But it's authentic. It's coming from the Serki. Furthermore, if you are renting out your house, we encourage people to go to the bank to receive their payment. The bank manager was very happy because he was getting deposits. And we said people should not hire our houses just like that. We also went further. If a vehicle breaks down, someone will come to you and call for the leader of the motor vehicle repairers who will help you. And we teach them to open the engine and look under and everywhere as if they want to repair, but they are looking for evidence of bombs and other things. Simple, but coordinated by the Sarki. And we were able to achieve that. Then, of course, we told the DSS, you don't have to go around looking for information on your own. We can help you. The same thing with the police. We have up-to-date information on security in our area, coordinated by a well-respected leader, the traditional leader, who gives respect to the DSS, to the police, and to everybody. What is the result today? My hometown is on the verge, on the boundary of problems to the south, among the Tiv and the Kuteb. To the north is Boko Haram. I can tell you within 6 months, we caught 4 Boko Haram commanders who were on the wanted poster. They entered the town without the knowledge of the military. But then traditional knowledge, we discovered some of them, even on building sites that were working as what? As masons. We taught people, if people speak, listen to them very well, form a history out of it. And I am proud to say that we do that and review it annually. Today, banditry is unknown. In 1 month, they were all rooted out. Today, you can sleep on the street. Nothing will happen to you. In short, Your Excellency, I think by leveraging on organic resources that are in the community, we can go a long way in fighting banditry. I thank you so very much. I will have further details in my paper that I will deliver to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellencies, we've just listened to Professor T. Muhammad Baba, a security expert and of course a spokesman to Arewa Consultative Fund. Our next speaker, Your Excellency, is Professor Bello Daudumbada. I told you earlier, Professor Bada was wearing 2 caps. Initially, he spoke on behalf of Senator Sadao, and now it's his own turn. Allah Tamikibala.
Thank you, Mala Abubakar Bawa. Please forget about the past. If I exceed 10 minutes, stop me, Abubakar Bawa. Forget who I was. Think of who I am today. The Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Dr. Ahmed Aliyu. Thank you so much for organizing this and inviting us. You cannot appreciate Dr. Ahmed Aliyu as Executive Governor of Sokoto State bringing peace without saying thank you, Senator Aliyu Amoko Sarkin Yamma, and the leader of the politics of Sokoto and the North, not only the Northwest. You cannot. We say thank you so much for this. I have been given a topic called security as a collective responsibility, the roles and the responsibilities of stakeholders, intellectuals, CSOs, community, religious leaders, media, and others. There is no doubt 10 minutes will not be enough for me. I will do my best to make sure that I utilize the 10 minutes. I told the organizers to please stop me. The first mistake I saw was then they wrote Bada. Maybe they wanted to write Bello Daudun Bada. If you can't write Bello Daudun Bada, then you write Bello Bada. I wonder really, I'm not in Igbo land or any other land, I'm in Sokoto. Issue of security is really very, very complex. It's not something we can come here and say everything. We do what we can to scratch the back of a tree and see how we can really add value. One thing is clear. If you compare Northwest in the last 2 years and the Northwest in the last 10 years, you know things are greatly improving. There is no doubt about it. In the last 2 years, things are really improving. We have new governors from 2023 in Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, and the others. And I believe they have close understanding and a relationship between themselves better than those who spent 8 years, they really succeeded. And I think that synergy is so important because they have common problem, they have common religion, common boundary, common language, common culture. Therefore, good understanding between them so that they can share security information is so important. Previously, the governors of the Northwestern state were at loggerheads with each other. Each one competing to become Mr. President in 2023, or Vice President in 2023, or Senate leader in 2023. I think that set them against each other, and they abandoned their own people, who are pursuing their own personal interest. I think that aggravated security problems in some of these states. We said it many times, we granted interviews, we said, look, when you drive away these people from Katsina state, they run to Zamfara state. If you drive them away from Zamfara state, they run to Kebbi state. Now, I think after 2023 election, we have governors, I think, that have a kind of common understanding. Please, they should keep it and maintain it. To us, and to our own observations, many of them, most of them in the Northwest are now more committed to their own people, more committed to the interest and the security of their own people. Some of them don't spend many days in Abuja. They are at home and they have respect for each other. That's why you can find them meeting in Katsina, meeting in different places, and you don't find them shouting on each other. Previously, it was not so. The border between Kaduna State and the Kano State, the governors before 2023 were at loggerheads with each other. The same thing you also find from Zamfara to Sokoto and the others. So please keep it up. It is so important for our own good. The issue is, if you don't serve your people, you have been elected, you have refused to stay in the town in your own state to serve your own people, you are always running to Abuja and outside Nigeria, then you expect God to reward you after your 4 years or after your 8 years. You want to go up, up, up. An ce ma jaki, falke zai shiga aljanna, ya ce in ba mu kusa ba, ya ce mun ci wuya ga hannu ne, don haka in an ce falke zai shiga aljanna sai mu rike kafa. Your own people will pray against your own advancement, and definitely it will affect you. So I'm so happy. In Sokoto State, I think the governor is always here. I'm not surprised, even when in 2019, Wamaku was not able to get his own candidate through. Still, almost every week without government, Wamaku was visiting Sokoto as long as he's in Nigeria. So you could just see this waiting for almost 4 years. And they go to be paid after 4 years because God has so many ways of doing so many things. I think when the cow is eating grass, the baby cow is looking at where the mother is chewing. Because if it touches this, the baby cow knows that it is also safe, it will touch that. I think it's a good information for us, and we can really see. We have great improvement here in Sokoto in terms of peace, in terms of development, in terms of others. So it is really important for our own security. The security people should really earn, they should earn the confidence of the people. Please earn the confidence of the very people you are trying to secure. You have to be fair, to love your country, to love your creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Work tirelessly. Even if you lose your life, God will protect your family and reward you afterward. So please earn their confidence. If you don't earn their confidence, they cannot give you any information. They give you information today, the man who supplies you with the information after 2 or 3 days is killed because there is leakage of the information. And the very people giving the leakage may be the security people. Nobody is saying we will not have bad eggs among the security people. We have them among ourselves, we have them among the leaders, but they are few. The rest should be able to understand them, mark them, and make sure that you serve the people, you serve your country, get their own confidence. If you are able to do that, then you are, inshallah, people will give you all the support you really need. Sometimes I'm not happy when I listen to the media and I find people saying, so bandit leader is in so place. I said, as we listen to the media, they also listen to the media. If you are giving them this information, that such so place, this is not the information that is supposed to go public like that. It is really not good, it's not doing service. That information is supposed to go to the security people secretly, and they will use it or to go to the leaders. This is also very, very important. Religious leaders have a very good role to play. They know they earn the respect of their own people, they know it. God has given them knowledge. God has not given them knowledge to go and use that for attacking the security people or attacking the leaders for the sake of popularity. You are not serving the country. You are not serving your people. You should do your best to use what God has given you to serve the people. If you go on video, on camera, on television thinking you are popular, you are attacking the leaders, you are attacking the security people, and you think that will bring security to the people, it will not be bringing security to the people. In fact, sometimes, if you keep on going looking for cheap popularity, sometimes the leaders will ignore you. The security people will ignore you. So tell me, what have you earned? You haven't earned, you haven't achieved anything. So it is so important. The same thing with the media. You think perhaps somebody who is in charge of a government in terms of federal or at the state level may not be from your party. And you use your media at every time to discredit the achievement in terms of security that has been achieved. You are not doing service to your country or to your state or to your local government. You are doing disservice to even yourself. Because the issue is, it is the country that is more important. It is the state that is more important. We have to build confidence. As intellectuals, we have to give our own contributions in terms of trying to create awareness among the people. There is nothing that can be achieved without unity and understanding. State governments, especially in our northwest zone, they spend a lot of money complementing the federal government. Sometimes I even ask questions. Are they really complementing the federal government, or is the federal government that is complementing them? They don't tell you, they don't show you their books, but they spend a lot of money on security, on almost everything. I think one governor of the Northwest, when he was pushed to the wall, he even went to the media and said, I buy every bullet at so price. So from his own speech, you could see frustration, because he does his best, and some people, because of politics, are trying to discredit his own efforts. They are doing their best. They are spending a lot of money. They are trying to build bridges. Traditional institutions, as mentioned by Professor Tukurubaba, they are very, very important. Very important. The failure of government in terms of this issue of security is not their personal failure. It is our collective failure. That is why, whether we agree with their party or we don't agree with their party, they deserve our support, they deserve our understanding, our encouragement. So we say thank you so much. Our Bakarba is telling me that it is time. He has always been a good friend. Thank you. In kunne yaji, jiki ya jira. In kuma jikin kunne ya kiji, to shi kuma jiki magayi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Malam.
Na gode. Yawa.
A taka yana ganin ka.
Wanga ba nauna ba. Ni ga bello ba da. Na gode.
An saurari kasida kenan a takaice daga Professor Bello Daudun Bada na Jami'ar Usman Danfodiyo da kenan Sokoto. Yanzu kuma mai magana na gaba shine Professor Yahayati Baba wanda yake sharikan al'amuran jama'a. It's now my singular and privilege. Bai zo ba? Akwai wakili ne? Okay, to. Is he around? Okay, to Shikira, it's all right. Your Excellencies, permit me to now move ahead and invite Professor U.E. Abdulkadir, Director, Center for Peace Studies at Manafod University, Sokoto, to come forward for a goodwill message.
Agogo sarkin aiki dukkan kan akwai manufarka. Daga awar dan alƙwamnan jihar ku ka kai jigo. Gwamna da rabin gwamna duka faɗin arewa kowa onda Ahmad. Da rabin gwamna duka faɗin arewa kowa onda.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellencies. Okay. Your Excellencies, spiritual and temporal father, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to be part of this program as Director of Center for Peace Studies, Usman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto, for a goodwill message. The message is that this center was established in 2007 by the then Vice Chancellor, Professor T.M. Muhammad Bande, and the first director was my distinguished teacher, Professor T.A. Muhammad Baba, Mutunju. This center was established immediately after the first international conference led by the same Vice Chancellor during the late Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Machido, on conflict and conflict resolution in northern Nigeria or in Nigeria in general. So one of the main mandate of this center is to study, to understand the nature and dynamics of inter and intra conflict, not only in northern Nigeria, but in Nigeria in general. So this center study, understand, and then provide networking and collaboration with national and international community for peace dialogue, peace process, and peace building in Nigeria. So one of the objectives, or perhaps what we try to do is, first of all, we identify with the effort of the state government, the federal government, and the entire criminal justice system of Nigeria, especially this 2025. We have seen a lot of achievement. But our center coordinate, it collaborates, and it provides a synergy on peaceful coexistence, conflict resolution, dialogue, peace process. So on this effort, we implore and perhaps continue to demand the cooperations and the for a Ministry of Religious Affairs, Sokoto State Government, and the Sultanate. We have collaboration with even Center for Intellectual Studies, and then Sultanate and other international bodies. Peace is for all of us, right from our home, to the economic institution, to educational institution, and entire society. So we are hoping that the leadership will provide their collaborative effort in terms of peace building, peace process.
Very much, Professor. Thank you very much, Professor, for being very concise in your presentation. We really appreciate that. Your Excellencies, it's now a singular honor and privilege to invite the representative of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is represented by Dr. Muhammadu Jabi Kilgori at this all-important occasion. Sir.
Your Excellency, the Governor, His Excellency Ahmed Alu Sokoto, PhD, FCNA. Your Excellency, distinguished Senator, immediate past of former Governor of Sokoto State, Sarkin Yamman Sokoto, Sarkin Yakin Dolo Osmania. All protocols duly observed. I stand here on behalf of His Eminence, the Sultan, Mohammed Saad Abakar CFRMNI, to send his goodwill to this very important conference on security. His Eminence asked me, directed me to express his best wishes and goodwill to the government of Sokoto State. He also directed me to appreciate all the efforts that are being put in place by the government of Sokoto State to ensure that there's adequate security, welfare, and well-being of the people of Sokoto State. He also directed me to assure you, Your Excellency, and all stakeholders that the traditional rulers, traditional institutions, or traditional authorities, as defined by Professor Tukur Baba, will continue to play their role as critical stakeholders, also as frontline stakeholders. Because whatever happens, the traditional institutions are when security breach or so they will continue to play this very important role, has underlined the role which the traditional rulers can play. He has clearly explained that it is community, and he has also given us the result, which is very, very good and very encouraging, that if all communities, if all states will adopt that strategy, I think we will be the better for it. Security will be adequately managed and controlled. In Sokoto State here, someone has asked me to also remind the stakeholders, especially the government, to continue to support the traditional institutions on their role to translate what they have been doing effectively. In the 60s or early 70s, we know that the security was totally, almost 80% in the hands of traditional institutions. And there was no such infractions. They were adequately remunerated, adequately empowered. They have the authority, they have the power to deal with security situations whenever they arise. However, since they were sidelined and given leftover was only residual powers, they now play the role of advisors, and they continue to do that and to do whatever they can to manage the security at all levels as required. His Eminence, His Excellency also assured us that among the challenges which the traditional institutions are facing, the issue of remuneration. His Excellency assured us that the remuneration will be adequately handled to empower them, to give them the necessary support to ensure that they are able to perform effectively. Secondly, it's also important to empower the tertiary institutions to make sure that they can set up or they can reactivate the vigilante, the community policing to support the security situation in their community so that every situation will be addressed effectively. We also need to continue to integrate these traditional institutions, traditional authorities into all the security architecture, beginning from the village level. We set up those committees and empower them, giving them mobility, give them the resources to be able to checkmate excesses of bandits or banditry or even Boko Haram. So I believe this will go a long way to assist in managing and enhancing the security of not only Sokoto State, but also in the country at large. With this, His Eminence directed me to pray that the Almighty Allah will continue to guide our leadership and will continue to provide us better security and better well-being for our people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yara kimfi sarki ran duniya sun kuye mazgai sarki ran gari sarki ikon Allah barka da warhaka barka da shekara goma ta zagayo amini dungulin mai waka idan sha'adi kin gare zuba sarki ayar duniya sarki ran duniya idan sa'ada abubakar shekarar sabo matar raga wani sarkin yanka afirka ya zo birnin kodiyo sarki jikan hasan dan ma'ago
Ahmad Ali babu shakka gwamna ne kai dan amana ka taimaki sakwatawa koyar da fili mun wadata
ga sabai SA hajiya nasara da barinsa sa'adatu mata sun ce a bar su su dawo nauyin waka ta gwamna soyayya su masu nuna sun ci garin lema abu shakka gwamna kai kaifin hazaka kasa sokoto ta hayaka abin kai sunan ayyuka iko dai suna aka waka kowa ma ya shaida haka Allah ne ya so mu haska masu jiran magana su dara tabbas ko bana za su koka an yi ruwa mun kara shuka to bai barci sai ya farka tituna birni da ƙauye abin ka samar da wannan wayayi sun shaida wannan zancen haske babu duhu ta sokoto ka samar da wannan talakawa mun shaida wannan kula da al'amuran addinin musulunci ka zo da wannan limamai sun shaida wannan abin gefen asibitocin mu lafiya ka leka
Thank you, DJ. Your Excellency, the former governor and distinguished senator, Utali Wagatakadua Moko, other distinguished personalities, it is at this juncture I'm happy to most respectfully invite the most security conscious governor in Nigeria, Dr. Ahmad Ali Sokoto, PhD, FCNA, to come on the stage to speak to these eminent personalities that are here on this very important stakeholders conference. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you and be seated, please.
wala hula wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad Dan Ali rike gaskiyar ka ba wani mai ima.
Wala haula wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad
Sakwato.
Dan Ali rike gaskiyar ka ba wani mai ba.
Wala haula wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Our leader and distinguished Senator Aliyu Magatakardawa Mako Sarkin Yamman Sokoto, Sarkin Yakin Sokoto. Mr. Speaker and members of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, representative of the Chief Judge, the Honorable Grand Kadi, representative of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Deputy Chairman of our great party, APC, the largest party in Africa, Honorable Commissioners and members of the State Executive Council, SSG, and Head of Service, Special Advisors and Senior Special Assistants, Local Government Chairman, my teachers and resource persons, Professor Bello Daudam Bada, Professor in the state, heads of federal and state government agencies, our party elders in the state. I have seen Senator Salihu Bakwai and Ambassador Abakar Shehu Wurno. The state chairman of Movement for Social Justice and Good Governance, Bashir Altini Guyawa Isa. Our district heads, religious leaders, members of the press, peace be upon you all. All thanks are due to Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful, for making it possible for us to gather here for this stakeholders conference on security organized by the Movement for Social Justice in Nigeria, Sokoto State Chapter. I commend the Movement for Social Justice and its National Chairman, Abdul Qadir Dayawu, for initiating this conference with a view to addressing one of the major issues confronting us as a nation, that is insecurity. I would like to state by profoundly thanking the important personalities that have blessed this very important occasion. I believe they all have their respective programs, but decided to keep them aside to attend this occasion for its importance. I thank you so much for the sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a well-known fact that our country, Nigeria, is facing numerous challenges hindering its economic, political, and social growth, among which is insecurity, which leads to the increase in crimes and criminality, hunger, as well as famine in our rural communities. In Nigeria today, there is no region that is 100% secured or can be said to be free from insecurity, as every region has its own peculiar security issues. In today, northern Nigeria, we are equally having our own share of insecurity as a result of the activities of bandits who have for over a decade now been terrorizing our innocent people through kidnapping for ransom. Sokoto State is among the northwest states facing banditry, especially in the eastern branch of the state, where banditry almost become order of the day. These worrisome acts become more pronounced in 13 local government areas who are largely farmers and herders. Distinguished audience, prior to our coming, there were a number of communities that were under the control of bandits who dictate to locals what they do. They deny our peasants from going to farms, and most of times ransack villages, kill innocent souls, burn houses and other buildings, and also abduct people for ransom. This was a picture of the ugly situation that we met. Alhamdulillah, upon assumption of office, we took drastic measures to change the troubled situation through collaboration with conventional security forces in the state. Some of these measures include deploying, restored the payment of monthly allowances to security personnel attached to terrible areas. When we came in, government was owing security personnel backlog of unpaid allowances. Alhamdulillah, it was now become a history. We have assured rent payment on monthly allowances and even review upwards the allowances. We also purchased over 140 patrol vehicles, which include Buffalo and Hills Band, which we distributed to security agencies in the state for their effective surveillance. We have also provided required number of motorcycles to DSS for improved information gathering, sharing, and surveillance. For effective and efficient performance of DSS in the state, we have awarded contract for the upgrading their tracker equipment from 2G and 3G to 5G respectively. We have established the Sokoto State Community Guard Corps to complement the effort of our conventional security. We have also provided the Corps with 400 Hills Band and 700 motorcycles, and also provided them with all necessary working materials for efficient operations. We have also built offices for the Corps at the state level and all the 13 local government areas with higher cases of banditry. We have also assured the full operationalization of Sokoto State Air Force Base by providing hangar and other necessary logistic support to Air Force so as to ensure effective air surveillance and raise of all bandit dens. We are equally very prompt and proactive in attending to all the needs of our conventional security forces whenever the need arises. We have equally assured sustained engagement with traditional rulers, businessmen, farmers association, cattle breeders association, members of the resident communities, and all other relevant stakeholders with a view to secure our dear state. Distinguished audience, Alhamdulillah, I want to see all this effort we have been making, we have started yielding positive results by ensuring a reduction in the cases of bandit attacks unlike before. Our security forces have on different occasions neutralized bandit attacks and secure many abductors. Before I end my address, I would like to affirm my administration unwavering commitments towards ensuring that we protect the lives and the property of our people. There is no going back in our decision of spending our last kobo to make Sokoto State safe and secure. I want to thank the good people of Sokoto State for their fervent prayers and unflinching support to this administration, which have helped greatly in achieving these successes. I also thank our security agencies in the state for their continued commitment in making the state safe. I urge you all to sustain the temper. With this, I once more thank Movement for Social Justice for coming up with this conference, which is indeed timely. Thank you and wassalamu alaikum.
Amadu.
Ina farawa da sunan Allah mai jin kai mai rahama da ya bani dama yau wannan rana ni kasance a gabanku domin tattaunawa da kuma ƙara samun mafita ga abin da shi ne an na farko wanda ya damu wannan ƙasar musamman sashen arewa waton matsalar tsaro. Ina godiya matuƙa da shugaban wannan ƙungiya wanda ta hanyar ƙungiyarsa ne muka yi wannan shiri domin ganin cewa mun gayyaci masana sun zo domin mu tattauna mu gane meye mafita. Ina son in yi godiya kwarai da gaske musamman ga malamai na da kuma waɗanda suka gabatar da ƙasidu daban-daban kan ɗimbin ayyukan da suka bari a gabansu suka kasance da mu domin gudanar da wannan aiki mai matuƙar muhimmanci. 'Yan uwana mahalarta wannan taro, ina son in sanar sheku cewa saboda sanin muhimmancin security wato harkar tsaro, shi yasa harkar tsaro ta kasance a cikin jerin gwami na ƙudurorin da aka gare da guda 9 kasance matsalar tsaro shine na farko a cikin waɗannan da muka gabatar. Ina son mu sani cewa harkar ta shahi tsaro harka ce ta shahe ni, ta shahe ka, ta shahe ki, ta shahe su, ta shahi kowa da kowa. Ba wata hanya da za a yi amfani da ita a yi maganin tsaro ba tare da mun dawo mun haɗa kai ba ko mun dibi kowane irin sashi a cikinmu mu yi mishi adalci. Kamar yadda muka sani a yanzu sai mu ce ba wani ɓangare na wannan ƙasa da ke bugun gaba 100% cewa bai da kowace irin matsala ta tsaro, sai dai kowane ɓangare yana da nashi inda sha'anin tsaro ya dabaibaye shi. Mu a wannan ɓangare namu na arewa sai mu dibi mahi yawan abubuwan da suka shahe mu shine matsalar garkuwa da mutane, fada tsakanin hillani da manoma, tare da kuma sata dabbobi ana gudu da su a cikin daji domin ƙwace su ga waɗanda ke da suwa. A jihar Sokoto mukanmu muna tamu matsala wadda ta shahi abin da ya shahi tsaro, inda muke da kusan local government 13 waɗanda mahi yawansu manoma ne da kuma manoma inda rashin tsaro ya yi kamari. 'Yan uwana mahalatta wannan taro, yana sanar da ku cewa abin da ya shahi waɗannan ƙanin hukumar mulki guda 13 shine garkuwa da mutane da kuma ɗaukar dabbobi da kuma ƙone gidaje, motoci da makamantansu. Wannan abin turne kuma abu ne wanda bai da sha'awar kallo. Lokacin da Allah ya ba mu jagorancin wannan al'umma, mahi yawan wuraren da akwai matsalar tsaro suna hannun 'yan ta'adda, amma kuma cikin yadda ta Allah ya taimake mu mun haɗa da jami'an tsaro duka mahi yawan waɗannan wurare inda ke wajen 'yan ta'adda mun so mu maishe su ga jama'ar su, kuma jama'ar su sun fara komawar su gidajensu. Waɗannan su ne mahi yawan matakan da muka ɗauka lokacin da muka shigo. Lokacin da muka shigo mun sake mai da kuɗin na allowances da ake ba ma'aikatan tsaro, wanda muka isko cewa an tara da yawa wata ta shuɗe bata biya ba. Haka kuma waɗannan kuɗin mun tabbatar da ci gaba da biyan su, tare da kuma ɗaga darajar kuɗin nan, waton muka ƙara musu yawa domin diba da yanayi. Haka kuma mun saya motoci 140, ba kamar yana faɗa 400 da turanci ba, 140 Buffalo da kuma brand na Hilos, muka raba ma'aikatan tsaro a faɗin wannan jiha domin inganta aikinsu. Haka kuma mun ba da babura isassu ga hukumar nan ta tsaro ta farin kaya domin su samu hayar da za su samu labarun da ke iya taimaka musu sahihu, tare da kuma zuwa da kawo tabbatar da abin da ke gudana wanda shahi tsaro. Haka kuma na'ura ɗin nan wadda ke ba da bayanin inda mutum yake da kuma inda yake waya, wadda adda ƙarhin nau'i na 2 da kuma nau'i na 3, tuni mun daga da darajarta mun ba da kwangilarta domin mun ta nau'i. Haka kuma mun ƙaddamar da ƙungiyar nan ta da ɗan gari akan ceci gari, wadda aka fi yi suna a turance Sokoto State Community Guard Corps. Wannan kuma kowace ƙaramar hukuma cikin wannan ƙanin hukumar mulki da ke gare mu 13 masu matsalar tsaro, mun je mun ɗauko aƙalla abin da bai ƙarancin mutum 200 ba. Mun ɗauko su ta hanyar tantancewa da su ta hakimansu, shugabanninsu da kuma shugabannin ƙananan hukumomi. Mun ba su duk horon da ya kamata mu ba su, kuma mun ba su kayan aiki. Wannan suna taimakawa ne ga sashen tsaro, domin su sun kai zama cikin al'umma, su sun kafi sanin bayanukan da ya shahi al'ummarsu. Haka kuma mun ba su motoci har guda 40 domin gudanar da ayyukansu tare da babura har guda 700. Haka kuma mun gina musu ofisoshi a matakin jiha da kuma matakin ƙananan hukumomi tare da naɗa musu shugabannin da sun ka cancanta su jagorance su domin wannan aiki na alheri. Haka kuma rundunar soja ta tsaro ita kanta mun yi duk abin da ya kamata mu yi mata domin tabbatar da mun yi mata wurin aje jiragen yaƙi a hilin jirgin sama na sarkin musulmi Abubakar na ƙasa da kenan Sokoto domin su kansu su samu gudanar da aiki da kuma wasu kayan aiki da ya kamata. Haka kuma a wannan gaba ina son ƙara shaida ma al'ummarmu cewa mun bi duk hanyoyin da ya kamata mu bi domin ci gaba da tattaunawa da ƙungiyoyin manoma, shugabannin al'umma, shugabanni mazauna jihar Sokoto, shugabannin addini da kuma sarakuna domin mu tabbatar da cewa an taru wuri ɗaya an haɗa kai domin magance matsalar tsaro. 'Yan uwana al'ummar jihar Sokoto, ina ƙara godiya ga Allah da irin ci gaban da muke samu domin kubatar da 'yan uwanmu da aka garkuwa da su tare da kuma rusa wasu wurare waɗanda 'yan ta'adda sun arsasa a faɗin wannan jiha. Kafin in kammala wannan jawabi na baki ɗaya, ina matuƙar godiya ƙwarai da gaske ga al'ummar jihar Sokoto waɗanda cikin addu'o'insu da goyon bayansu dukkan waɗannan nasarori suke gudana. Kuma ina tabbatar muku cewa kalaman nan da ni na cewa in za mu kashe kwabo na ƙarshe na jihar Sokoto domin samun tsaro yana nan bai canza ba. Ina godiya ƙwarai da gaske ga malamai na waɗanda suka zo nan suka gabatar da ƙasidu waɗanda ya ƙara mana ilimi da ƙarfin gwiwa da kuma sanin hanyoyin da ya kamata mu bi domin magance wannan matsala ta tsaro. Ina mai shaida ma al'ummar jihar Sokoto cewa za mu ci gaba da yin duk abin da ya kamata domin ganin cewa mun kare dukiyar al'umma da kuma rayukansu. Kafin in kammala wannan jawabi nawa, godiya ta musamman ga ubana kuma abin koyi na dattijan arziki, sarkin yamman Sokoto kuma sarkin yakin Sokoto, kan ƙarfin gwiwar da yake bamu da shawarar da yake bamu, wanda dukkan abubuwan da ke gudana na alheri a faɗin wannan jiha suna faruwa ne ƙarƙashin jagorancin shi da kuma haɗin kan shi. Ina godiya ƙwarai ga ma'aikatan da nake aiki da su, ina godiya ƙwarai ga sarakuna, manoma, 'yan siyasa, ma'aikata da jama'a, ƙungiyoyi da makamantarsu kan haɗin kan da muke samu baki ɗaya. Ina godiya ga Allah ya ƙara ƙarfafa mu, ya ƙara mana jagoranci. Waɗanda suka samu halartar wannan taro muna godiya ƙwarai. Allah ya kai ku gidan lafiya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Mu yanzu ku ta gara a
mun saurari jawabin mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto Dr. Alu Sokoto a wajen wannan taro da ke da zumar rigar sha'anin tsaro a wannan jihar tamu da masauran makwatan jihohi. Yanzu kuma zan gayyato da magana na gaba domin ya zo ya yi jawabin shi na godiya da kuma ba da karrama ta musamman ga mai girma gwamna akan irin hubasar da yake yi na inganta sha'anin tsaro a wannan jihar ta Sokoto. Your Excellencies, it's now my singular honor and privilege to invite Comrade Bashir Altine Buyawa Isa, Chairperson Movement for Social Justice and convener of this conference, to come forward for a vote of thanks and presentation of plaques to His Excellency. Comrade, sir.
Gwamna da rabin gwamna dan aljagora kake. Da yardar Allah, Ahmadu sai kayo tutayin Sokoto.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil karim. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, distinguished Senator Baba Aliyu Magatakardawa Mako Babana, respected resource persons, participants, gentlemen of the press, traditional rulers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. On behalf of the Movement for Social Justice Sokoto State Chapter, I wish to thank the Sokoto State Government for its commitment to the security and the well-being of the people of Sokoto, particularly those ravaged by the menace of banditry in Sokoto East. For the return of peace in Sokoto East, Movement for Social Justice Sokoto State have been actively involved in the campaign for the return of peace and stability in areas affected by the violent conflict. Our campaign advocacy activities, enlightenment program, and the stakeholders' engagement are meant to provide solutions in our society. I'm glad today, Your Excellency, I'm glad today, Baba Alu, distinguished Senator Magatakardawa Mako, for your effort and your support in this conference. The support of the state government in convening this high-level conference demonstrate its commitment. Wish to express our profound appreciation to the Excellency Dr. Alu Sokoto, FCNA, for the support in making this conference a success. I also wish to inform the government that the outcome of the deliberations in this conference and the other relevant research and the policies initiatives will be documented, will be highly documented, and handed over to the state government as a road map for the resolutions of the security challenges in the state. On the basis of the sustained effort and the commitment of His Excellency toward the security of the state, the Movement for Social Justice consider him for the award of excellence and the icon of sustainability security in Sokoto. We also consider and recognize the untiring effort of Magajina, Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and the Chieftaincy Affairs, and in Community Development for the Award of Excellence as a champion of community development in Sokoto State. Champion of community development indeed. We witness this in Sokoto East, that Commissioner of Local Government is at the forefront of providing avenues of developing our places devastated by the bandit. The award will be presented by the two distinguished resource persons, Professor Shehu Khalifa Dikwa for the Excellency Governor Ahmed Ali, and for Professor T.A. Mohammed for the Commissioner for Local Government and the Community Development. Assalamu alaikum. Jama'a a ɗan abin gada, wato shekara ta 12 ina kuwa gabas da yamma kudu da arewa jihar Sokoto. Waɗannan uwaye na wada shugabanni da suka taru yau shaida ne akan wannan al'amari. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Ban samu yanayi wanda aka saurare ni ba da kunnuwa na basira in zo in ce ina da abun da nika so in yi ga al'ummar gabacin Sokoto domin shi kasance wani matsayi wanda za mu nuna ga gwamnati kuma ta yi aiki da shi sai wannan lokaci. Jama'ar gabacin Sokoto Local Government 8 suna godiya ga mai girma gwamnan Ahmed Aliyu, kuma da masaniyarsu ni zo ni gabatar da wannan al'amari ga gwamnati, kuma gwamnati ta yarda ta ba mu goyon baya. Mai girma gwamna, babu abin da za mu haɗa ma gabacin Sokoto. Shekaru na 2000 kakan taso daga sabon birni har zuwa Sokoto cikin motar ka bayan magariba haka samu na isa ka hanyarka. Wannan al'amari ya zama muna maholki shekara 12. Dukan abin da za mu kawo wa domin a diba muna a yau ayyuka da su mun san cewa za ka yi, saboda idan akwai wani yanki wanda zai zama na biyu gare ka to shine gabacin Sokoto, ni na san da haka. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
I thank you most sincerely for this recognition, and this is a move of a clarion call for me to further tie my belt very well so that I can continue providing the needed security for lives and the property for the entire people of Sokoto.
Alhairi baka kasa ba, baban mu
ce kai ka goya mun san masu in bakar mana ba washin ka ɗaukar marayu kai suke duwa mata kai suke nema matasa kai suke fata safata wa wuri da alhaira.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Comrade. Yanzu kuma sai Honorable Commissioner for Municipal Local Government Defense Affairs, Honorable Ibrahim Dadi Adari. Ina ta Commissioner. Comrade. Okay. Professor Baba.
It's my pleasure and honor actually to be able to. It's my pleasure, Honorable Commissioner Alhaji Adari, to present you this award for the excellent work you have been serving to the communities affected by banditry. I hope this is a step to doing even more for the sake of humanity. Accept my congratulations,
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Your Excellency, my father, my teacher, I want to use this opportunity to once again thank you, because it is your recognition for me as your subject and your student and your son that make me to be recognized to this very level. So on behalf of myself and my family, I want to dedicate this award to my father, my teacher. Thank you, sir.
Well, alhamdulillah, so far, so very, very good. With that presentation of an award of excellence to our amiable governor and a very hardworking, young, dynamic governor, we come to the end of this conference organized by the Movement for Social Justice in Nigeria. Your Excellencies, with your kind permission, I would like to quickly invite the Sokoto State Grand Kadi to help us in the closing prayers.
صلوا على النبي الكريم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم اني اسالك بان لك الحمد لا اله الا انت وحدك لا شريك لك المنان يا بديع السماوات والارض يا ذا الجلال والاكرام يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث يا ارحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين اللهم انا قلب وديا غريك muna tawassuli suna ka tawa sufofin ka madaukaka Allah ka ƙara taimakon da gona Allah ka sanya alkhairi a marasa Allah ka taimake mai girma distinguished senator Ali Muga ta kada muku wannan taron aka yi lafiya a tsare lafiya Allah kuma da kowa gidansa lafiya bakin mu da suka so ubangiji Allah kuma da su gidan su lafiya Allah kuma wallahi ya zama lafiya da zama lafiya Allah ka ƙara ka mana zama lafiya cikin wannan jihar da wannan kasa baki daya ka biya mana dukkan bukatun na alkhairi اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في أمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدار والآخرة اللهم إنا نسألك من خير كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من شر كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much, Honorable Grand Kadi. Your Excellency, we would like to say a very big thank you to all of you that have found time to attend this very conference. Thank you very much. We pray that God Almighty will take each and every one of you safely back to his abode. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. May we rise for the national anthem.
tattaunawa da aka yi da masu ruwa da tsaki a cikin jihar garin Sokoto inda suka ba da shawarwari na ganin cewa to malami
ya wato ga mutane da ɗaya daga cikin waɗanda suka gabatar da makala Professor Bello Bada wani ƙara haske za ka yi mana akan wannan paper da ka gabatar
su tabbatar da cewa suna kokari su gamsar da mutanen da suke wa aiki su samu aminci tsakanin su da mutane wanda shi zai sa mutane su ba su gudunmuwa kwarai da gaske sannan kuma wajibi ne dukkanin mu ba gwamnati goyon baya domin wannan al'amari ya kai mana ko'ina shugabanni kuma su saurari mutane bakin gwargwado
to ba sani ba sa da irin wannan akwai tunanin zai taimaka irin shirin wannan taron domin kawo ƙarshe wannan matsalar
ko zai taimaka kwarai da gaske domin sun saurari mutane kuma za su yi kokari su yi
ga mutane da ɗaya daga cikin Profesa Khalifa Diba wanda fitacce ne wajen shanin tsaro a ƙasar. Profesa za ka ɗaya mai ƙara haske kaɗa akan makalan da ka gabatar?
Maganar na gabatar shine in babu na cikin gida babu yadda za a yi a ci gaba domin wannan rashin tsaro din nan kirkiranta aka yi kuma an shigo da ita lokacin da ake kira idan aka samu irin shugabanni wanda su suke so ko a tsara musu ido ko a ba su abin da za a ba su a kyali domin a yi maganin yawan al'umma wanda shine demokratiya. Na biyu a yi magani a wargazar da ɗabi'u na kwarai na iyaye da kakanni da sauransu saboda haka mu muna da formula din yadda za a yi maganin kamar na borno a nan wato shugabanni na soja na haka din suna gayyata mu ire-ire mu muna ba su lekcoci har da wanda suke yanzu haka Christopher Musa din da na baya Faruk Yahaya duk suna gayyata ta ina ba su sirrin abubuwan nan.
To muna godiya Professor Aisha gare ki Aisha.
To masu kallon mu ga Professor za ka dan ce wani abu dangane da wannan tattaunawa da aka yi.
Gaskiya tattaunawa ta yi saboda an samu masana sosai waɗanda suka ɗan gabatar da makala amma kamar irin ma maganar da shi Profesa Babaye muna fata a ce gwamnatin jiha da kuma gidan sarkin musu sun yi unwani da practical abanga gwaji da aka yi na mutum biyu a banga Taraba, a jihar Taraba. Muna ganin in aka yi abu da insha Allah za a ce za a ƙara samun ci gaba bisa ga inda aka
tsaya. Kana gani ire-iren wannan tattaunawan zai ƙara kawo ci gaba wurin ƙasa?
Kuma ina farin ciki da ya zanni matsayina na darakta na ƙungiyar abin na santa ko ta wanzar zaman lahiya ta Usman Danfodiyo University aka gaice mu. Saboda duk wani abu da ya shahi zaman lahiya da abin da za a rage tashin hankula da irin waɗanda boko da sauransu yana cikin makasudin wannan santa tamu. Yana godiya ga waɗanda na asasa wannan abun ga kasancewa mun samu mu yi haɗaka tsakanin ita santa ɗin ga ta wanzar da zaman lahiya da jiha da kuma gidan sarki su to da gode.
Ga mu tare da ɗaya daga cikin waɗanda suka shirya wannan taron wato Bashar Altine Guyawa Isa, me za ka ce masu kallo?
Abin da ya samu ka shirya wanga taron domin mu gani shi menene ke faruwa. Duk abin da aka bukata gwamnati ta bayas an horar da yara, an samu musu makamai, an samu musu abin hawa. Na halarci taro na jami'an tsaro iri-iri da kansu suka gaya min gwamnatoci sun ba su abin da ya kamata. Shin gwamnan Katsina ya faɗi ko nawa ya kasa hasashe? Shin so aka sai su ɗauki bindiga da kansu da hasashe domin su tunkari ainihin gwamnati, su tunkari 'yan bindiga sannan za a sanin suna ƙoƙari? Wajibi ne mu sani ina abin yake, inda sojoji ne wallahi shirye muke mu kalubalance su hili da hili. In kuma daga horar hula ne mu ƙara kalubalantar horar hula.
La'akari da cewa kun daɗe kuna fafutuka akan sha'anin tsaron nan, yanzu kun yi na'am kenan da irin matakan da gwamnatoci suke ɗauka.
Ai gatan da tsaron ya samu Katsina da Zamfara da Sokoto shekarun baya ba su same shi ba, ko ba haka ba? Sai a yi adalci mana. Ba wai kwalliya ta ba, har yanzu ba ta biya kuɗin sabulun ba, amma dai an taka. Muna ganin tun da an ka ɗora sauraren mu shigo nan da gwamnati a saurare mu, 'yan suka muke an sani, ba wai cikin gwamnati muke ba. Ka gane an kawaye gari ana sauraren mu, to mun gamsu da abin da ke faruwa, kuma za mu ci gaba da matsayin mu. Waɗanda duk 'yan gwagwarmaya ne da kake gani, ba wai mutane ba ne waɗanda suka zo don nan gidan. Duk sun zo ne domin mu san abin da ake ciki. Za mu samar da wani abu wanda za mu tunkara gwamnatance kuma rubuce. Wannan shine abin da muke bukata.
Muna godiya sosai. Da to masu kallo Bashar Altine Guyawa Isa kenan ɗaya daga cikin masu fafutuka Aisha akan sha'anin tsaro a shekaru da dama da suka gabata, kuma kalamansu ya nuna cewa kamar sun fara na'am da irin matakan da ya ce gwamnatocin Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara suke ɗauka sabanin kila inda aka fito, ba duk da ya ce ba wai 100% irin sun yi yawa, amma dai sun yi na'am sosai dangane da irin matakan da suka yi amanar cewa za su iya taimaka domin kawo ƙarshen matsalar.
So Malam Aminu, in kai duba da cewa akwai ƙananan hukumomi da suka fi tabuwa da wannan sha'ani na harkar tsaro, musamman in ka duba Sabon Birni da Isa, kamar yadda mai girma gwamna ya faɗa cewa ƙananan hukumomi guda 13 ne suka fi samun matsala kan wannan harkar tsaro, kuma cikin iyawar Allah suna ƙoƙarin shawo kan wa'innan matsalolin ta taimaka musu da kuma shiga cikin al'amuran domin ganin an kawar da wannan matsala ta rashin tsaro a ƙananan hukumomi, tare da ba da shawarwari na irin wa'innan masana da suka tattara a nan wurin, kuma da irin wannan zama idan za a ci gaba da yin shi zaka ga cewa Aminu matsalar tsaro sai dai a bada labari, amma ko a yanzu ma za mu ce ai an yi yaƙi, ana kan yaƙi, sai dai mu ce mutane su ƙara haƙuri, sannan kamar yadda gwamna ya ce ana kan aiki tukuru na ganin cewa an ƙara tabbatar ma mutane kan cewa gwamnati domin su take, kuma insha Allah gwamnati za ta ci gaba ganin cewa ta kawar musu da wannan matsala da ta shafi kusan kowa.
To Aisha, saboda lokaci ina ga kila da haka ya kamata a ce mu yi sallama da masu kallo ko bisa wannan taro da bayanai kai tsaye da muka kawo muku daga fadar gwamnatin jihar Sokoto kan wannan taro da aka gudanar da ya shafi sha'anin tsaro da aka kira masu ruwa da tsaki da kuma waɗanda suke fafutuka daga nan Sokoto da ma sassan kasar na ganin cewa an kawar da tsaron da suke bayyana ra'ayoyinsu da kuma matakan da suke ganin idan an dabakar to ba shakka kulliya za ta biya kuɗin sabulu.
To Malam Aminu, sai dai mu ce a madadin shi jagoran wannan tafiya tamu wato Bashar Abubakar da sauran 'yan uwa abokan aiki da suka taimaka ganin cewa an kawo wannan shirin, Malam Rabi'u, Malam Naziru, Abdulrashid Wadata Buhari da sauran 'yan uwa dai da suka taimaka, ni Aisha Abdullahi Aminu
da Aminu Alsina, amma nake maku fata alkhairi. Assalamu alaikum.
Makaro mu ne Allah yi. Wajen ƙarshe mata jaddada Ahmadu Dindai ne an gwamna. An kai ƙarshe. Gwamna ne duka tauhidi.
Sakkwato.
Akan komai ba mu kin faɗar Allah.
Sakkwato.
Makamin mu ko baya zarce la haula.
Sakkwato.
Idan muka je hota makiya dole su suma.
Wala haula.
Amin.